Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. And this is going to be a quick, thought-provoking video. Some food for thought. I'm not going to go into 100 precepts like we normally do, but I just want you to put your thinking cap on and apply some critical thinking into what's going on right now regarding the moves to make the Bible illegal, to make it criminal to preach certain passages from the scriptures, right? Which we see legislation being put in place to do just that. Now, keep in mind, there is no pending legislation coming up against the Quran. There is no legislation being put together for the Talmud or the Bhagavad Gita, right? For the Hindus, or the Buddhist Tripitaka, right? Or the Guru Granth Sahib for the Sikhism folks. They're not coming up against any of those so-called holy books. Only the Bible. So the question is why? The reason that they're providing for making the Bible illegal is because it has what they're calling hate speech. It's like, wait a minute. After 2,000 plus years, y'all now finding out that the Bible has so-called hate speech in it? That make any sense? You just figuring that out? I remember once upon a time in academia, people would just laugh at you if you believed the accounts written in the Holy Scriptures, man. You would be considered educated and sophisticated and modern and wise for believing that this universe evolved from nothing. Okay? I remember one time I was in a conversation with this guy at work while I was living in Boston, working for a software company. And I don't know how the topic came up, but it was about the flood and Noah's Ark. And I was laughed at to scorn, you know, for believing such a thing. But now they're actually putting it in place so that if you believe the scripture, they want to imprison you perhaps for life, man. Now, I want you to just think about that for a moment. There's a quote attributed to Mahatma Gandhi, and I'm not particularly a big fan of his. But the quote says, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. And this applicable in this case, man. Why would anyone care, especially a government? Why would they care that you believe in a book? You're not hurting anybody. You're not doing anything to anybody. You're not a danger to society. You see? You're actually a law-abiding citizen until now. And when you look at what this world upholds and promotes, which is just degeneracy, right? And there's so much degeneracy that we could go on for hours. But I'll just give you a few aspects of this degeneracy to which I refer. The destruction of the family unit, the nuclear family, okay? And we see that there's an assault against the family unit, starting with the men. That's just one aspect of this degeneracy that this world promotes. Another aspect of this degeneracy is bail, where Two people can commit the same crime, allegedly, and because one of those people has enough money to pay the court, they don't have to go to jail. Maybe their court case is in 9, 10, 11 months. And so because they can front some cash up front to the court, they can be out on bail or bail, as it were. But this other person who didn't have that money, who's convicted, or I should say arrested for the same crime, none of them have been proven guilty yet. But because this person doesn't have any money, they have to sit down in jail until their court case comes. And if they are found not guilty, well, they just let them out, you know? And that's the end of that. That sound fair to you? Does that sound like a just system? So those are just two brief examples of the degeneracy in this wicked society that we just accept as normal. We don't even fight back against it. Most people haven't even given it a second thought. So when you look at all the degeneracy that this world pushes forward, and then you see that they are coming up against people who believe in the Bible, you have to scratch your head and ask yourself, well, if they are willing to do this and devote such an energy towards putting people in prison for this thing, then perhaps they know that it is the truth. So just think about that and see what conclusion you can come to. And if you come to a conclusion other than this book must be the truth, then put it down in the comments for everyone to see. And give your reason why they're coming up against it if it's not because it's the truth. Even the book itself said thousands of years ago that there was going to come a time when the book would be outlawed. Okay? And that's written in Amos, the 8th chapter, from the 11th verse on down. So how about that? So with that, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakudash. Shalom.